walk away with quite the massive prize pool, right? So maybe they got a little complacent after enjoying all of that money.
Well, to be fair, they used to have no org, right? They used to be known as Do Easy.
Yeah.
And even that time, they did win a major.
So now they're taking it easy.
Under Do Easy, though, not under Farang. Like, that doesn't count. Like, I feel like if you are from Farang, the owner or the manager of Farang, it doesn't count, You didn't win it under the banner. Let's be very fair. It's going to be a tall order for them to even qualify for now. But I think they do have a pretty good chance if they just keep up the performance that they had in the first 2 rounds. Not necessarily needing Booyah, but getting enough points to get closer to it.
What's doing again?
I mean, Forest Red, yeah, you're sure.
No, Forest Red, yes, but I think it's too bad who's going to face off against Zen-OP.
It's
was
too fast.
Too fast? Too fast.
Too bad is Farang.
You're right.
Too bad that too fast is.
Zen-OP's not taking the shots just yet. Guy doesn't have a gun on him. But Axis Esports will be able to spot out Sem9. This will be a big fight if they can nail them down, but Sem9 is the one that turns the tables. And they get a couple of players. Zen-OP manages to find too fast as well, which, to my point earlier on, just forces the rest of Team Expand to go on a revival mode instead of focusing on their loots, which is so important in the early game.
This is crazy aggression from Sem9. The members that split up are actively taking these fights. I mean, Zen won his with a slither of health, but there's no one there to kind of, punish him. Newbie will get punished though, as Axis, they rotate their members there. And maybe that is one of the core differences that we are seeing, for some of these teams where Expand, maybe the philosophy is that if you go down, we can revive you, take that fight, with full freedom. But for Axis, it's like, all right, guys, we found a straggler, let's choke him out.
Yeah, not a big fan of that strat at all. Said it once, we'll say it again and again until they stop doing it.
No, it's okay. Like, he's back. Cutting some slack,
No, not Sem9.
Yeah, well, exactly. He's back. Yeah, he is back.
Okay, yes, he is back. Anxiety, on the other hand, this time around, they don't bite the dust super early. They do have a couple of fights, though, with King of Gamers, 977 going down, but that's only because the guy straight away a little too far away from the rest of his team members. You see, even King of Gamers can lose their team members when they spread out in the open against Anxiety of all teams, man. Expand stands no chance in a lobby like this when they spread out.
You know what they say? 2 guns is better than 1.
Do they?
Yeah.
What if it's a machine gun versus 2 pistols?
I don't know. I feel like if the pistol guys stand far apart enough, then they still win.
Okay, fair enough.
You're not gonna tell me that the spread of a automatic rifle is gonna be so far out.
Fine.
That straight bullets just...
One AC-AT versus 2 pistols.
Depends on the distance, I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough. King of Gamers. 2 players still left in here. Osaka just got brought right back in. Kevin's nowhere near him. Jembal will be able to put on a world of hurt if he does spot him, but he is on that lower ground and not actively searching out for any of those players on that high ground just yet. And Dewa, on the other hand, rotates in slowly towards red here. Axel's going to get caught out. This is a 2v1 that Axel's not going to be able to fight right back. But he goes in for it either way.
Yeah, there's no help from Expand. Just look at how Expand are moving on the map. The backup, it needs to come in quicker, but unfortunately, it's just not quick enough. Axel just fed to the Sharks. Nowhere to go, stuck outside, and Dewa just pushed it. And I just props to Dewa for calling that immediate shot to push Axel, because normally you would do a bit of stakeout, but for Dewa, they just went for it, and they were rewarded. But thankfully for Sem9, there is a revival point there, and they will bring Axel back. But that means that more time is needed for Expand to kind of gear up. And Dewa, they're not going anywhere. They're hanging around. VGM is also nearby Forest Red as well. Axis is also heading towards Forest Red.
Less some money to buy back your players in the late game. So that's something that you really need to think about if you are Expand. Anxiety keeping their eyes on Osaka here. But Farang's going to do the dirty on Osaka. Jesbu flanking around from the back. Jembal has got his eyes on God Toby. Jesbu, bro, this guy
Distracted.
makes so much of noise. And he's not going to see Osaka. Oh, does he?
I saw him. Osaka moved just at the corner of his eye. Slow round for KOG. Kevin is also not in a good spot. In fact, the nearest revival zone occupied by MDH. Well, good news for Anxiety. They did get a free pickoff onto Jembao, so that is going to slow down Farang just for a bit. They have one member, I believe Kanoho, on the other side of that zip line.
Can Anxiety get this deed done? It doesn't seem to be a possibility with the way they're engaging Jazz Boo. Yes, I know that Woodpecker penetrates all of that armor, but that was just way too spicy of a shot. Got Toby now, 100 HP left. Jazz Boo just needs to flank around this boulder. Should be able to get that double shot. Woodpecker does not, or is not the best gun for an engagement like this, but that Uzi can do the deed though. Got Toby, just needs to step on out. No grenades in his hands as well, so this is going to be a standoff between the two.
Yeah, and it still could easily be broken. Jespo goes down, Anxiety holds the spot, and just a good swing from God Toby. Getting it done, knowing that Farang are just not close enough to really push them with full force, but Too Bad is going to do it anyways. Trying to get rid of Toby, even uses the time turner, but now he is caught out in the open. And Toby has so much time to heal back up with the medkit and the bonfire. It really feels like Farang have made a decision that they cannot recover from. Kanoho just guns down Too Bad on water with that hoverboard. And Farang are just down to one guy.
Yep, Farang, one final player left in here. We have to catch up with him a little bit later on as we retune ourselves into the fight. That Expand is potentially going to get on into as Axis Esports storms into their compound. B Gaming from just beyond. They are listening into all of these gunfights, and there is a potential they rotate in because they need to look for the circle either way.
Yeah, Expand tries to push, but while that was happening, Axel was actually picked off behind the scenes, and that means Axis now have the man advantage. They are trying to crunch onto Expand, and they're doing a pretty good job at it. Raph and Cobra both going down too fast. Also gets taken out from the roof as well. Axac putting in the work, and Expand are just left with one poor X-Roy who is caught in his own compound, and VGM now decides to storm right in. X-Roy has nowhere else to go. He's got to fight his way out, but even that is a tall task.
Yeah, you probably have two big losers here inside of the house with B Gaming winning out everything. Expand, they bite the dust with a wonderful god nade that came out of VGM. Bing Su will be able to find Flame as well as Raph, and here goes Axis Esports right behind Expand as well by the looks of things. One more guy just hanging on for his dear life, but this guy, he can be the one that turns things around for Team Axis, but going up against 4 players, I don't know exactly what his luck is going to be, and Van Tan shows up from nowhere, takes him out of the equation.
It's another round that Expand just could not do it. This time with a bit of intervention from VGM, which is very, very unfortunate, but still, just another round where you don't, and this is their best map.
Yeah, what's the definition of insanity again?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Expand. Hope you're listening.
It's been a rough day.
I mean, they're such a good team, man.
Yeah. They started out phase 2 with a huge cushion of points, and I think towards the end of last week that has been completely taken away.
Such talented players, so much in them to give in the world of Free Fire. But also a little bit, I guess, of too much of ego, thinking they can handle this 1v2, 1v3 fights as they spread out in the open. I have seen zero benefit from them spreading out. Like, I do not see the point at all. Yes, it increases your chances of survival. Let's say if a couple of your team members get taken down, someone else gets to revive them. But I'll only play those type of strategies when you know you've got a decent enough lead and you only want to play placement points towards the end game of your league. Not in a situation, I mean, yes, they're not really fighting for placements or whatsoever, but they did mention in the interview that they're trying out a few strats and they're trying to perfect it. That doesn't seem to be a strat. They're not perfecting anything. I don't want them to perfect that.
I suppose you gotta give them benefit of doubt, I guess. I mean, statistically, they are gonna qualify for the finals anyway.
They are.
Maybe that's gonna be, just more than a month. Just shy of 2 months to perfect it. Well, I'll give you some positive news to lower that blood pressure a bit. I was recently asked by someone who is looking for a local Free Fire team, and I did recommend Expand. I did not know how that go, but there are people looking out for talented boys.
I hope and pray that Expand does not sign up in any of these organizations, because I think they are on a roll to prove that they can get it done all on their own.
Of course.
And they can. They surely can.
They definitely can.
The problem here is
I think the positive takeaway is that their team's looking at them.
They don't need an org. They need a coach.
They do.
Yeah, they just need one guy who is not involved in the matches to stand from a third-party perspective and just tell them, look, boys, do this, don't do that.
That is the craziest part, right? Because they did all this without a proper coach.
Yeah, without an org, without support. They just did it with one of the players' mom. And she has been the backbone of the squad all the way through. And they have needed nothing else, which is why I've got so much of faith in the team. But I have zero faith in that strategy, my friend.
You know what this reminds us of? Geek Fam, when they first started.
Oh, yeah.
It was the same. It was a team without any coaches, and they were the best for more than a year, right?
Yeah.
So you can really see how talented these guys are. Anxiety somehow runs into MDH again. This is some abandoned building, and it seems like MDH are really scrambling to hold the fort. That means that their numbers are spread really thin as well.
Farang rotates around. Anxiety!
How?
Hawkeye! Max 7 MDH. They lose one player. Will they lose more though? It's going to be Sem9 who circles around. Just a tad bit of lag. And that's the little bit that don't cry needed as Sem9 goes down. Anxiety now on the back foot as it's going to be a 2v4 fight if they can't pick up Sem9 and Hawkeye.
Yeah, this is terrible. But Hong'an did step on the trip mine placed by Hawkeye, so there is still a chance for Anxiety to win this one, but they need to start confirming some of these knockdowns, and they are not able to do so. MDH picks Hong'an out back again, and Anxiety are just down to 2 members, and this is the pincer that they started with. On the other side, VGN takes on Team Flash.
Yeah, and Bloody will be able to find that clove as well, and that's another fight going on in the background. Kanoho did manage to find Rue, so we'll catch up with them in a little bit. But Team Flash, they've got a big fight here against VGM, who do have a better defensive compound to work around with. And the circle's going to be pressuring both of these teams. And that's not going to stop any time now. They need to be on the move, especially VGM.
Yeah, the timing, a bit off of Binsu. The glue wall went down while he was pushing, so now he needs some time to get his health back up. Unfortunately, he did not have the luxury of time. And Bayo, of course, the golden arm of Team Flash, gets a grenade onto VGM. And this should be the end of the push. VGM down to just Ban. And Team Flash will look for the final wipeout.
Yeah, that's such a good nade tossed on there. Had no information of where that player was going to go at all, but he just assumed that is exactly where he was going to show up. The timing was just perfect, and that's just a one-up for them. And VGM, they should have moved a little bit faster. This circle now is putting on the kind of damage that you do not want to deal with, especially when you've got a team hot on your tails. And Team Flash should be the ones who finish them off. And Heavy from up top manages to find Newbie from the side of Sem9. Sem9 running out of the circle. And Raja manages to shoot himself right
Buffalo,
above
don't do this to
everybody else and right into the hands of Dewa.
If Buffalo ended that shot mid-air, that's it. He's going to get the trophy for the craziest sniper. But either way, I think Sem9's time might be done.
And they brought back one player. I don't know how. Fikri's right there back with them. Raja needs to get away. What a glue wall. Protects him for just a moment and now exposes himself through the window. Raja needs to find a better spot for himself. Fudai and Gang, they're going to use this launch pad to reposition as well. And Team Dewa now taking the fight up against Heavy. What a repositioning, and instantaneously in yet another fight.
Yeah, Heavy just dropped right on top of Dewa in an attempt to take them out. Mina surrounds himself with glue wall, heals back out with the bonfire, and now they are starting to lose members. Fudai getting absolutely destroyed by Dewa, but Mina is going to take matters into his own hand to get a couple of trade back, equalize the battlefield, finds himself in the midst of multiple Dewa members, and finally goes down as well. Buffalo would not be able to support his teammate from long range. He has 3 Dewa members to look out for, but they are slowly getting healed out. Ren's able to get away. Buffalo has been found out, and Heavy might have just bitten off more than they could chew, and they are now out.
First Raiders as well managed to find Farang with all of those lobs from the grenade launcher, so that was a little unfortunate. There was a quick elimination. They were spending the time outside of the circle, not sure exactly what they're looking for, but they have to find a better position for themselves. New K might want to top his health right back up before he gets into this next fight, and the circle is going to be doing damage in a little bit. First Raiders, on the other hand, are going to be waiting very comfortably with that grenade launcher and that final circle gameplay as Dewa tries to circle on in. First Raiders are the first one to find that circle.
And the only team to have the entire squad left alive, the current kill leaders, MDH down to just nuke his back a bit exposed, but Ren just could not land the shots. Now Nyung knows where to look at, where to be careful of. Ren does have a vending machine to work with. Sem9's NOP bolting for safety, but ends up getting shot down anyways. First Raiders in a good spot to get the booyah for round number 3. Rain is a bit of a grenade launcher out, but ends up getting shot through the glue wall. Daewoo United are now out, and First Raiders, they should have this in the bag.
Yeah, First Raiders, they've got multiple grenades and the grenade launcher as well. Souza going out for the hunt, and Lozzy, he flanks around from that boulder as well. New Cake, he is being hunted, finally gets found by Darkol, and it's First Raiders who managed to nail that booyah for themselves. Extra 12 points and a massive number of kills this time around. I think, what, 12, 13 to their side. So that's not too shabby at all for the First Raiders.
Yeah, First Raiders has been there. Every once in a while, you see them have a good round, and this is just one of them. All started when Heavy decided to push Daewoo United. It is one of those teams that do not mind dropping on you with a hoverboard and trying to challenge you.